At Bentley, I work in the Applied Research Group, specifically the Real-Time Asset Labs, and we work on various leading-edge software for our customers and connecting them together with our current software. So we're on that white space of the world, the fringe a little bit, connecting the next generation of tools and technologies to our software products. Many of our customers today are using Corp printers. And we see that growing, that market growing very quickly because it's becoming challenging. The Corp printer has some features that were important to us. Color. Color is important because a lot of the models we print are geospatially oriented. A lot of our customers are in the plant space, the building. Black and white doesn't cut it. It really needs the ability to print color and labels and information on the models themselves. In fact, that ties into one of the research areas that we were doing in making 3D models interactive. We required that capability. This is interesting because here's a simple model, actually just came out of the printer. But what's interesting about this model, it's a future city, and this model is one that actually won the competition, and it just so happens that it prints. We didn't do anything to change this or modify this. This came right off the press. And it's impressive to see what students can do, not just with MicroStation, but unbeknownst to them, we now have, in the future we'll probably be printing these types of things for the award winners. Let me talk about taking 3D to the next dimension, adding another dimension here. And one of the things I started working with when I got the printer is making 3D models interactive. Now there's various ways to do that, but one of the simplest ways is going to be using 2D barcodes. Reading 2D barcodes, just recently, about 2 weeks ago, CTIA, which is the Cellular Telecommunication Industry Association, they announced an initiative that within the next year, all the cell phone carriers will enable their phone phones to be able to read 2D barcodes. Imagine if I printed these in a smaller fashion around the outside here, or on the printed stand in some way. Now I have models that are interactive. This is the first step that you're going to see, and the ability to go and create interactive models. I can link into websites. So in this case, I might be able to link into the details related to what each of these buildings are. I can't begin to write all that information on here, and I don't want to. And I don't want to have a piece of paper separate. I want to make it interactive. You had models that people are producing now for the games. And imagine if I could have my blog, my Facebook page, whatever, tied into a tag that's fastened on the bottom of their feet. And if I take my model and put it on there, up comes that tag, that website, it plays some music, my theme song, it tells me all about my character, maybe it even contains all the points that I have or whatever. But it's not just related to games, it's also related, again, to interaction. If this was printed on a monochrome printer, it would be all white. I mean, it's as simple as that. I wouldn't be able to put my Bentley logo in with our Bentley colors in. I wouldn't be able to print these black and white spots. So not being able to print barcodes like this or other information. It's not just barcodes. Barcodes are some of the future, but it's important when you look at models like this, color is critical. Geospatial is one of the leading growing areas of our business, and those people need 3D models for a variety of reasons, whether they're in government or they're working in forestry, disaster recovery scenarios. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers uses our products. So there's a big interest in creating these models, and oftentimes from architectural firms, the need to sell concepts. It's becoming much more competitive nowadays, and be able to sell the concept requires much more than a tap dance and a PowerPoint slide. You're going to need some of these models, and also it helps to accelerate what we see is the design process, not just design, but design, build, and operate. Bentley's tools operating across that whole framework there. And in the past, when you look at software that Bentley produces, a lot of it was focused in the design area, but we're seeing more and more it going into the build and the operate. And you need better and quicker ways to communicate. 3D printing helps in accelerating that full process. as we looked at different printers, color became something that was important to us, if not the number one thing. Because with black and white, I can't do these interactive models. I can't even put sometimes my signature or an engineering tag diagram onto it in some way. So printing of text became important. Printing of color became important. Hopefully, we're looking forward this year to start to look at some of these interesting geometric type models that we build with our generative components and start to look at printing them and doing cutaways of those. But we expect to, and really excited about a lot of the things we think we'll be doing in the future with things like our smart geometry and general components.